is SportsCenter Australia.
From the ice, the NHL well underway, but the Flyers and Flames have been slow out of the gate. One of them turns it around today.
The maestro behind the masterpiece, Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers with a memorable comeback against the Lions on Monday Night Football, capped it off with the Lambeau lead.
Zion continues to amaze as his first regular season approaches. We have the NBA's next superstar in his own words.
Gracias, Aaron. Regreso contigo. Tequila!
I got one game ball. Mason Crosby.
This is SportsCenter.
Hey there, Australia. Welcome into SportsCenter, taking you right up to live NHL. I'm Mark Brown, and it's my pleasure to introduce John Brickley, making his SportsCenter Down Under
I appreciate the introduction. Maybe I'll get a game ball by the end of the show. Who knows? Although the sample size is small, Zion Williamson is building the foundation for his legacy in the NBA, but we dropped the puck with the Flyers continuing their world tour with a matchup against the Flames. Among the storylines, Philly off to a red-hot start. 5 quick points based on its scoring surge, led by the likes of its dynamic duo. Center Travis Konecny's been the anchor for this Flyers offense. 3 goals, 3 assists in the first 3 games of the season for Philly. Now, the only blemish to the start for the Flyers, a shootout loss over the weekend to Vancouver. Oscar Lindblom optimistic behind a pair of goals, 3 points in total, with Philly eyeing a bounce-back performance against the Flames.
Brick, those Flames are looking to bounce back. They've lost 2 straight, but don't blame Johnny Gaudreau. He's accounted for 7 points in the opening 6 games by way of 3 goals and 4 assists. Johnny Hockey has been an all-star in each of his 5 seasons in the NHL, looking to make it 6. Last season's career highs of 36 goals, 63 assists for 99 points. And at age 24, Elias Lindholm, 2 years younger, but has been with Calgary longer than Gaudreau. Now in his 7th season, the centerman has begun to bust out, also coming off a season where he notched career highs with 27 goals, 51 assists, and 78 points. So far this year, 3 goals and an assist. Well, the boys from the NHL have been on the ice for games that count, but we are still about a week away from the NBA regular season. Brick, rumor has it there's a rookie that's been doing some things.
Yeah, a guy known as the legend of Zion Williamson, which was born in the halls of Cameron Indoor. His legacy is about to be made in the Big Easy with the Pelicans. Certainly that charismatic smile we all know about with the undoubted talent behind it. Although the sample size is small, and yes, it is the preseason, granted, Zion is starting to live up to the hype as the #1 overall pick. His emphatic slam dunks have become must-watch television. His performance is a reason why the Pelicans are perfect in the preseason. It's a story that's just beginning for one of the future stars in the association. In 4 games, Zion's climbing the scoring charts, averaging over 23 points per game in this preseason, a scoring output better than the likes of Kevin Durant. He's a new face added to the hype for the NBA season. Scoop Jackson now detailing a busy offseason and the buzz of some marquee games on the calendar.
Return or revenge? There's a beauty that comes with the insanity of the free agency we survived this summer.
I'm always have love for the city of New Orleans.
Charlotte's all I know. I've been there for 8 years.
Toronto got an amazing fan base. I had a lot of fun there.
Players either returning to places they once called their own, or players out for revenge going up against teams where all love was lost. Things bound to get personal. Feelings about to be caught. Battle lines will be drawn, storylines will be blurred. When Russell Westbrook and Paul George return to OKC, the love, the hate. When Kyrie goes back to Boston, Kawhi goes back to the Six, the hate, the love. When AD has to step back in the city of New Orleans, the emotions alone from both sides. Same when CP3 crosses the threshold in Houston, where Jimmy Buckets returned to Philly and KP6's revenge in the Garden. As for LeBron, his whole season might be one big-ass revenge mission. After the way his first year in LA played itself and him out, every game this season might be about reminding the whole league just who the f he is.
We can't forget how dominant LeBron James is by himself.
There's a very thin line between return and revenge all season long. If we are lucky, that line will be both walked on and crossed.
Well, speaking of AD, an MRI has confirmed that Anthony Davis has a sprained right thumb, suffered from a preseason game in China over the weekend. Listed as day-to-day, Lakers understandably not taking any chances as they held him out of Tuesday's game versus the Warriors, but he did shoot around without protection on that thumb 2 hours before the game. In that game, LeBron James sitting out. You have to take my word for it. Yes, that is LeBron under there. Steph Curry, though, yes, he would be in the lineup. Check this out. Marquise Chris, between the legs pass to Steph for the pull-up. That's some nice stuff. Very nice. And how about some rim protection there? You had Steph blocking a shot down low and then alley-ooping at the other end for Glenn Robinson III. Doing it all. But yeah, Steph, he's doing Steph things now, which is shoot the basketball from deep. Off the curl, hits the three, finished with 17 points, 21 minutes, but the Lakers won it 104-98.
Brownie, there was drama Monday night at Lambeau. The Packers' late comeback against the Lions, proving why Aaron Rodgers is never out of it at the most marquee times. As SportsCenter Australia continues after this.
The 178th time in a regular season, it's Packers and Lions.
So the Pack left it late, but got the job done, 23-22 over black and blue division rival Detroit. Some very shaky penalties down the stretch. And, Brick, you can't keep giving Aaron Rodgers chances to beat you.
Maybe the most impressive note, Brownie, about this Packers quarterback, he is 5-4 in his last 9 home games when trailing by 13 or more points. Think about that for a second, how impressive that stat is. And what's even more dangerous is his expansion of offensive weapons, Ed Warder reports.
Aaron Rodgers combines amazing and impossible as well as any quarterback in the league. When the Packers lost Davante Adams to an injury recently, an opposing defensive coach told me it wouldn't affect the Packers because Rodgers is capable of throwing open any receiver. That includes undrafted free agent Allen Lazard, whose fourth quarter touchdown reception was his first career catch of a pass thrown by Rodgers.
Yeah, I told him to throw it to me every play, but but nah, he just called my number and just threw a great ball.
I actually sit next to him in the team meetings, and we've struck up a pretty good friendship. As a quarterback, and that's when your receiver's coming back and telling you he wants the ball and what routes he wants to run. That was him coming back in the huddle telling me what play he wanted. And for a young guy to do that, how can you not have confidence in that?
Aaron was spectacular. I thought he was great all night long. In that fourth quarter, he was certainly calling for Allen. And, you know, those two guys made it come to life. So I was really happy for both of them.
With Adams missing his second game and Geronimo Allison leaving injured Monday night, Lazard led the Packers in receiving against the Lions. He followed up the touchdown with 3 catches on the final drive to set up the game-winning field goal, and his presence on the field was not coincidental.
I asked the receiver coach at 13 could come in for a little bit.
Despite playing just 19 snaps in the first 5 games without being targeted, Lazard was not awed on Monday night. Rodgers put it like this: "It was his second time playing in an NFL game, and he's telling me what routes he wants to run, so I felt pretty good about his confidence." The 5-1 Packers should be confident, but careful. They have a short week before hosting the Raiders, their second consecutive opponent coming off a bye. In Green Bay, I'm Ed Werder, ESPN.
Ed, thank you. So who is Allen Lazard? Well, by some measures, he's the greatest wide receiver in Iowa State history. He is the Cyclones' all-time leader in both catching and receiving yards. However, before Monday, he had only been targeted once in his first NFL season. Yesterday, he had 5 times as many targets and reeled in Brownie for them for 65 yards and a touchdown.
That's great, Brick. But now it's time to check in on those Aussies in America doing amazing things. And this time of year, it's a lot of NFL. More specifically, those punters that help the special teams flip the field for their mates. And we start with the Jets, who finally got in the win column. And they did it by stunning the Cowboys. Lachlan Edwards was called on to punt 4 times, averaging 45.3 yards per punt, 1 inside the opponent's 20. Sure, Sam Darnold threw for 300 plus in his return to the Jets, but it's all about the punters. What a great game from Lachlan there. So Cameron Johnston and the Eagles went to Minnesota and got slapped down by my Vikings. Cameron didn't get a ton of action, but did average 43.7 yards per punt with a long of 47. Second straight game from Kirk Cousins. Just saying. But Jordan Berry was the best Aussie booter, helping the Steelers to a win over the Chargers. Okay, you got your third-string quarterback on the road. You're going to need a big game out of your punter. I mean, it goes without saying.
Absolutely. Jordan
averaged 46-plus yards on 4 punts with 2 inside the 20.
Look at you knowing all about the punters. So we continue the countdown to the top 50 greatest NFL plays of all time. Boomer looking back at the most memorable moment in Jets history. Yes, there is a memorable moment. And not to add insult to injury, Cowboy fans, but on my recommendation, I would turn away.
As we continue to look at our top 50 plays of all time, many of these you remember, but there are some, as time goes on, you might not recall, like the one you're about to see from the Saints against the Jaguars. Play 32, December 21st, 2003. The Saints trailing at Jacksonville 20-13. Tommy and I on prime time.
Pay attention. 7 seconds left. They're down by 7. Brooks to Dante Stallworth. There's 2 tackles. Keeps the play alive and gets inside the 35. Ooh, it's close to a forward lateral, but it's to Michael Lewis, the beer man. And then he flips to Deuce McAllister. And one of the tougher throws. Deuce! It's to Jerome Pathon. Brooks with a block. Are you kidding me? It's a touchdown! A touchdown on the last play of the game. Unbelievable, Tom.
This is one of the greatest plays in NFL history. You will not see a better play no matter how much you study NFL film.
Jim Haslett's Saints pulled the improbable. All they needed to do was kick the extra point to send it into overtime. Alas, it missed. Play number 31, Philadelphia at Dallas, Monday Night Football 2004. Donovan McNabb from his own 23 evades the Cowboys' rush. Now goes backward almost 15 yards. They've got him hemmed in. Cuts across the field. Gets a block. Looking downfield and the heave. Freddie Mitchell, 60-yard completion.
That is amazing. That is Donovan McNabb. That's what a quarterback that was a basketball player can do. That's what a quarterback that has great strength can do. That's what a quarterback that always keeps every play alive can do.
John Madden, perfect description of a maddening play, certainly for the Cowboys. The Eagles won big. Play 30, 1968 AFL Championship game. Joe Willie Namath, New York Jets, trailing the Oakland Raiders 23-20. Namath knifes this pass through the frigid air to Don Maynard down to the 6. Beats George Atkinson. The Jets still trail. Namath gets the block from Matt Snell. His 4th intended receiver was made at a touchdown. They win the AFL title, and 2 weeks later, indeed, the New York Jets would be #1, shocking the Colts in Super Bowl III in the Orange Bowl. That greatest upset in pro football history, the Jets winning Super Bowl III, never would have happened had Namath and the Gotham Green not upended the defending AFL champ Oakland Raiders 2 weeks before. You know what? Some things are etched in your mind a long time. I remember that one because I was there.
Great stuff, Boomer. Coming up on SportsCenter Australia, Zion Williamson tells us his journey from viral sensation to Duke star to the future of the Pelicans in the NBA.
The New Orleans Pelicans select
Zion punches it home.
I want it all. Run it.
Zion rips it. Oh, yeah, it's time to get to the gym.
Run it. I want it all.
Man, I'm here.
Oh, and Zion.
I want to stay here for a long time.
So I know it's only preseason, but Zion Williamson, well, he looks like his game definitely translates to the NBA in an era when hype often outpaces performance. In this case, believe the hype.
Well, Zion's legendary status started as a social media sensation. His short time at Duke only enhanced it, and now the #1 overall pick, in his own words, describes his journey to the top.
People beg to go hang out with their friends. Me, I'd go wake my stepdad up at 5:30 in the morning because I just love playing with the basketball. I said, oh, I can have this for a job. And my stepfather explained, that's a very exclusive job to get. I told myself, if I work hard, I can do it. Dude, go look at Drake's Instagram post. My favorite rapper wearing my high school jersey, that's crazy. Like, probably one of the most exciting moments of my life. I got letters from 40+ schools. I was thinking, dang, I'm gonna really have to pick one school. I will be joining the Brotherhood of Duke University. I want to make my presence known to the world.
Oh, tripped away by Williamson. And here comes the big man.
That's poetry in motion. It felt like I was floating forever. This place went crazy.
And the Duke Blue Devils are champions of the ACC basketball tournament for 2019.
I will pursue my next dream and declare for the 2019 NBA Draft.
He is a completely different phenomenon. The face of basketball right now.
This is the life that I wanted ever since I was 4 years old. I'm loving it.
The #1 pick goes to the New Orleans Pelicans.
Zion Williamson here, and I just landed in New York. I'm very excited to be here, and I can't wait for Thursday night.
I can tell you what it feels like. I got a feeling this is unforgettable.
With the first pick, the New Orleans Pelicans select Zion Williamson.
I dreamed about this since I was 4, and for it to actually happen.
My dream came true.
One of the most highly anticipated debuts.
Just try to get the win and just have fun. I work hard for this, and I'm gonna show I belong out here. Let's dance.
You know what they gave me, see? No, I never let them down when it's all on me. You know why?
I don't really think it's pressure playing the game I love.
Zion stays down with a hammer.
It's been crazy and fun. 2 years ago, I was just a senior in high school, and now I'm sitting here. This is what the dream was all about, making it to the league and having an impact. It's a blessing to be here.
They're sky walking in Memphis and picking it in D.C. Whatever they're doing, if it's awesome, it's in top place. Come back with us on the other side.
Brick and Brownie back with you on SportsCenter Australia. Minutes away from puck dropping on ESPN2. We've got the Flyers and the Flames, what to watch for in their first meeting of the season. Philly orchestrating a red-hot start with 5 points in their first 3 games. Both these teams looking for a bounce back in the win column.
And we are looking for top plays. We begin with number 10, the Euro qualifiers, Portugal versus Spain. And hey, we got to talk Cristiano Ronaldo. From the spot, nails it for his 700th career goal. Only active player, but Ukraine would win.
Brownie, your favorite sport at number 9, women's college field hockey. Southern New Hampshire against Malloy College. Laura Vanderdoren. Talk about some hand-eye coordination. Mid-air, Southern New Hampshire goes on to win 7-0.
And a high stick. Speaking of sticks, the Senators and the Wild, NHL. Alex Stalock tested here. The sprawling save goes all out. Look at this one. Unreal. And then a little help out of the crease. Wild get their first win of the season.
Number 7, we check in NBA preseason. Grizzlies and Hornets. Dylan Brooks finding Brandon Clark. And Brownie, get out of the way. Hornets players, great business decision. Just get out of the man's way. Hornets would win 120-99.
Number 6, the NLCS Game 3, Nats and Cardinals. Trey Turner going to put a ball up the middle. Colton Wong behind second base. A beautiful backhand and quick transition. Nice little pick from his first baseman as well.
One of the few bright spots for the Cardinals in that series. At number 5, back to the NBA, Hawks and the Heat. Bam Adebayo, one-handed flush. DeAndre Hunter, welcome to the NBA, my friend. Heat go on to win at 120-87.
On his first post to the wrong end of it. Number 4, back to the NHL. This is Panthers and Devils. Mike Matheson takes a shot that's blocked. Evgeny Dadonov cleans it up, though, from just outside the crease. Diving, slipping, sliding. Panthers win it.
I love how you're getting all the NHL. I get all the NBA. Thunder and the Mavericks at number 3. Kristaps Porzingis denied by Nerlens Noel. Knicks fans, I know you love seeing this with Porzingis now in Dallas.
What do you want? He's only 7'3".
Mavericks would go on to win 107-70.
How about some Aaron Rodgers from Monday Night Football? Rodgers looking at Darius Shepard. This is not a good Rodgers highlight, though. You got to catch that ball, don't you? It's intercepted by Justin Coleman. You know, it works better if it's your hands before your face mask. I mean, that's just rule of thumb.
One of the few plays that actually went the Lions' way in that game. At number 1, back to the Nationals and Cardinals, Paul DeYoung. This is why they call it the hot corner, Brownie. Anthony Rendon. Beautiful stab with the athletic play. Nationals up 3-0 in this series against the Cardinals, and Anthony Rendon, Brownie, no doubt, is going to be a very rich man in the offseason. Over $200 million, I think I'm projecting for him.
That's some great stuff, and what a story for them. The wild card maybe going to the World Series. Coming up right now, we hit the ice for NHL action. Flyers and Flames. For Brick, I'm Mark. See you.